Today we will enter again, on a dark and mysterious journey through the second part of the most haunted and dark places in the world. So, prepare to face your worst nightmares, as we discover the secrets of these cursed places. Number 8. The Tower of London, located in the heart of the City of London, United Kingdom, is one of the most emblematic and historic places in the country. Over the centuries, this fortress has witnessed numerous paranormal events that have left many people with chills. One of the most notable paranormal events is the sighting on multiple occasions of the famous Ghost of Anne Boleyn. Anne Boleyn, the second wife of King Henry VIII of England, was beheaded in the Tower of London in 1536, for crimes of adultery, incest and high treason against her own people. Since then, his spirit is said to wander the tower grounds, and several guards claim to have seen a sinister figure dressed in white wandering the hallways, head under his arm, screaming and begging for forgiveness for his sins. Likewise, years after the execution, many royal guards could not bear these sinister environments and sensations, leading them to a dark abyss from which they could only escape through their own death, condemned to wander with their previous queen consort. In addition to these events, numerous supernatural experiences, such as unexplained noises, desperate screams and strange sensations, have been recorded, contributing to the Tower of London's reputation as one of the most haunted places in England. These paranormal phenomena add an aura of mystery and wonder to the rich history of this iconic historical site. Number 7. The Tevennec Lighthouse is considered one of the most terrifying places in France. This is located on a small abandoned islet just off the Pointe du Raz in Brittany. This lighthouse earned its current reputation thanks to the fact that the 23 guardians it has had have either died of inexplicable and mysterious causes, or have taken their lives in the lighthouse itself, or have ended up completely crazy, due to the disturbing paranormal activity that stalks the lighthouse. Due to these unexplained deaths, the lighthouse was closed in 1930, and currently no one lives there, so it operates through an automated system. However, the most daring visitors venture to visit the abandoned facilities, reporting a dark atmosphere never seen before, full of inexplicable whispers, heartbreaking screams and spectral shadows that scare away even the bravest. In 2002, Marc Pointet, an artist, adventurer and lighthouse specialist, decided to found the National Society for the Heritage of Lighthouses and Beacons, with the intention of preserving forgotten lighthouses in France and some areas of Europe. Thanks to this partnership, the French government granted him permission in 2011 to take over the Tevennec Lighthouse. Pointet plans to change the reputation of the lighthouse, with the intention of turning it into a place where you can live, and in the future it can be considered a tourist site. Number 6. The Stanley Hotel, located in Colorado, United States, is famous for its history of chilling paranormal events that have attracted paranormal lovers from all over the world. Disturbing occurrences include spirit sightings and unexplained apparitions. Room 217 is one of the places best known for its paranormal activities, where it is said that the spirit of a former employee, Elizabeth Wilson, who died violently cremated in this room, due to an electric shock resulting from a storm, still wanders through the hotel corridors. Visitors have reported lights turning on and off on their own, doors opening and closing without explanation, eerie sounds, and objects moving mysteriously. The famous writer of horror novels, Stephen King, stayed at this hotel in the 1970s, and was inspired by his terrifying experiences in this place, to write the famous novel, The Shining, which was later adapted into a film directed by Stanley Kubrick. Likewise, the hotel has a large grand piano, of which it has been reported that the keys sound by themselves at night, even when there is no one around to play it, generating somber melodies. Additionally, laughter and whispered conversations have been heard in empty hallways and unoccupied rooms. Today, the Stanley Hotel is a popular must-see destination for those interested in the supernatural and seeking dark, disturbing experiences. Number 5. The Island of the Dolls, located in the channels of Xochimilco, near Mexico City, is a macabre place full of legends that has attracted the attention of lovers of the paranormal. The history of the island says that in the 1950s, the island's caretaker, Julian Santana, could not save a girl who drowned in one of the canals that crosses the island. It is then said that, shortly after what happened, the girl's spirit appeared in Santana's dreams, at the same time that she began to hear screams and cries around the island. After a while, a doll appeared in the canal where the tragedy occurred, which was said to be that of the drowned girl. Fearing the girl's ghost, Santana decided to protect her house with dolls of all types and sizes, which would function as guardians. As a result, he began to find more and more dolls abandoned in the canals, which he decided to hang. In this way, it went from just a few dolls to hanging more than 2,000. Santana died in 2001, leaving thousands of dolls hanging on trees, many without limbs and with hollow eyes, which visitors to this dark place claim are possessed by the spirits of the deceased girls, and it is reported that these dolls often come to life during the night, moving their arms and eyes, listening to their laughter, and even whispering to each other. Number 4. Edinburgh Castle, located in the capital of Scotland, is one of the most iconic and oldest fortresses in Europe. In addition to its rich history, this castle is famous for its reputation as one of the most haunted places in Scotland. The most terrifying event related to Edinburgh Castle is related to Janet Douglas, who was a member of the Scottish nobility of the 16th century, who was wrongly accused of witchcraft and finally condemned and burned at the stake in Edinburgh Castle on the July 17, 1537, before the eyes of his little son. Shortly after her tragic death, several people claimed to see the ghost of a grey lady walking and crying through the castle, which is believed to be the lost soul of Janet Douglas. It is also reported that when she appears, the sound of hammer blows can be heard as workers construct the scaffold on which Douglas was burned alive. Like her, more than 250 people were burned at the stake in front of Edinburgh Castle over almost 200 years, most of them women. This is why sightings of shadows and mysterious figures, usually silhouettes of women, have been reported in the castle, as well as experiences of sudden changes in temperature, laughter, and inexplicable whispers. These paranormal occurrences have contributed to Edinburgh Castle's fame and attract curious visitors and paranormal enthusiasts from all over the world, seeking chilling experiences. Number 3. Aokigahara Forest, located northwest of Mount Fuji in Japan, is known for its haunting reputation as one of the scariest and spookiest places in the world. Tragically, the discovery of lifeless bodies is not uncommon in the Aokigahara Forest, known for being the place where an average of 100 people take their lives each year. In Aokigahara Forest, the wind is blocked by thick trees and wildlife is almost non-existent, making it exceptionally quiet and filled with rocky, icy caverns. Visitors and volunteers carrying out rescue work in the forest have reported the presence of abandoned personal items, such as clothes and farewell letters, which adds an aura of sadness and mystery to the place. Within the forest, its visitors have recorded cases of encounters with spirits and appearances of spectral shadows, which some attribute to the negative energy accumulated by the tragedies that have occurred there. It is said that the lost souls of those who have disappeared in the forest continue to wander and grieve for their actions. Furthermore, it is not so strange for visitors to find remains of clothing in the forest, and there are some websites where chilling examples can be seen. Due to the magnetic iron deposits under the forest, it is also common for compasses to stop working. Authorities have taken steps to prevent disappearances and improve security in the forest, but its aura of mystery and intrigue persists. Number 2. Poveglia, in northern Italy, is an island located between the city of Venice and Lido, and is known for having one of the most spectacular landscapes in the region, but also for being the location of macabre events, which led to it being nicknamed by the locals as the Island of Ghosts or the Island of No Return. One of the most disturbing facts is the use of the island as a quarantine site in the 18th century. During outbreaks of bubonic plague, anyone with even the slightest signs of the disease was taken to the island and abandoned there to prevent the spread of the disease. It is estimated that some 200,000 people died in terrible conditions on Poveglia, which has contributed to the belief in the presence of haunting spirits throughout the island. For this reason, those who have dared to visit this island report scenarios of paranormal phenomena, such as whispering voices, lamentations, and appearances of spectral figures. Experiences of strange sensations, sudden changes in temperature, and the feeling of being watched by invisible presences have also been reported. Likewise, in the 1920s, the island was home to a psychiatric hospital, and it has been claimed that patients lived there in deplorable conditions, suffering unimaginable abuse and torture. Although Poveglia is currently uninhabited and closed to the public, its grim history and numerous stories of paranormal occurrences have made it an infamous location for those seeking a glimpse into Italy's dark past. Number 1. The Amityville House, located in New York, United States, is famous for being the scene of one of the most notorious and terrifying cases of paranormal activity in history. In 1974, Ronald DeFeo Jr., a 23-year-old young man, murdered his family in cold blood with a huge rifle while they were sleeping in the house. DeFeo later claimed at his trial that he had been influenced by evil voices and presences in the house, which forced him to carry out the patricide. Shortly after the massacre, the Lutz family purchased the house at a considerably low price, but they soon began to experience a series of terrifying paranormal phenomena. The Lutzes reported intense activity, including the presence of demonic entities, foul odors, apparitions of ghostly figures, walls dripping with blood, and objects moving on their own. Furthermore, the house was said to be infested with flies in the dead of winter. The desperate family tried several times to exorcise the house, however, their efforts were in vain. The Lutzes left the house after just 28 days, claiming they were under attack by evil forces. His experience was turned into a book and later into several horror films, which led to the Amityville House becoming one of the most infamous and feared places related to paranormal activity in the United States. The history of the house remains the subject of debate and controversy, but its legacy as a terrifying place persists to this day. If you missed the first part of this special, I leave you the direct access to see more terrifying places around the world. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe to the channel, so we can bring you more of history's finest tops from around the world.